friends, and welcome to a Dragonstaff tutorial for shoulder fountains. Before we get started, thank you so much to all of you supporting here on Patreon. Thank you for making videos like this possible, and thank you for making this channel possible. There will be one or two prerequisites for this one. The first is your standard fountains, just to make sure that you're comfortable with the concept of fountains. The second is an optional prerequisite for caged fountains. This is very similar to our shoulder fountains, only instead of having the staff caged in a fountain, we'll have the staff somewhat trapped between the shoulder and the neck. And this is one of those tricks that can be done going both directions. We're just going to be covering going one direction for the sake of saving time and keeping things simple. I always recommend drilling the opposite side once you've gotten it down on your first. And if you hadn't already noticed, I have my Fibonacci heads on one end and my red spirals on the other end. That's just to help you differentiate between the two sides of the staff throughout this video. That's not something I recommend doing to your setup as the balance is off. However, I thought especially for this trick it might be helpful. And first I'm going to go over the trick facing the same direction as you. I will go over it again facing forwards briefly just to make sure that you can see everything. And I'm coming into this trick from a split time chi roll, so I suppose that could be another prerequisite, although I'm sure you can get into these shoulder fountains from many other tricks. But if we came into it from our split time chi roll, at some point when, oh, this is my houseless cat, Felix, not to get off track. This is my outdoor cat, I love him very much. So any point when this right side of the staff, which is the red spiral side for me, swings in front of you and to your left in your split time chi roll, right at that moment, right there, is where we are set up perfectly to come into our shoulder fountains. So you can see when I freeze right there, I have one end of the staff resting on top of my right hand, and the other end kind of resting on the left shoulder and kind of under the back of the left hand as well. So this is our entry position. And right here, we want to create a little bit of a cage around this end of the staff on the shoulder by raising this left elbow and letting this end of the staff press into the left side of the neck as well. And then from here, we're gonna move this end of the staff that's out in front of you, the red spiral side for me, in a clockwise motion. So I'm swinging the right hand down and to the left, up and to the right, down and to the left, up and to the right. And really using this left hand, left side of the neck, left shoulder, all to keep that roll going. So this end of the staff that's up on my left shoulder is really coming into contact with the neck, the shoulder, the hand. The neck, the shoulder, the hand. To continue in your shoulder fountain, more specifically, a clockwise shoulder fountain on your left shoulder. And once you feel like you're getting comfortable with that, we can try on the opposite side, the right shoulder. So at any point, we can swing this spiral side of the staff, the end of the staff out in front of you, back to your right in a split time chi roll. And now when the other end of the staff, this end that was out to your left, the circular end for me, swings out in front of you and to the right, we are set up in our shoulder fountain position on the right shoulder. Only now, instead of going clockwise like we were on the left side, when we come over, it can feel more natural if you're coming from that clockwise shoulder fountain on your left. It can feel more natural to come into a counterclockwise circle on the right. So now this end of the staff that's out in front of me, the circular end, is swinging down to the right, up to the left. Down to the right, up to the left. And this other end of the staff is resting on the right shoulder, rolling down the right side of the neck, down the shoulder, up the hand. And you can continue for a shoulder fountain or a counterclockwise shoulder fountain on your right shoulder. And you can go between these two sides pretty smoothly from your clockwise shoulder fountain on the left shoulder to your counterclockwise shoulder fountain on the right shoulder. And I am going to briefly go over that again, facing forwards, just to make sure that you can see everything. Came in from our split time chi roll when this right side of the staff swings in front of me to the left. I'm ready to come into my shoulder fountain by using the back of the hand underneath this end of the staff that's out in front of me to swing that end of the staff down to the left, up and to the right in a clockwise motion. Other end of the staff rolling down the left side of the neck, down the shoulder, and then using the back of the left hand there to guide the staff in that clockwise fountain motion. And then we can come back into our split time chi roll, and when the other end of the staff, the circular end, swings, more specifically the end that's out to my left, swings in front of me and to the right, I'm set up for my counterclockwise shoulder fountain on the right shoulder. So I'll use this end of the staff that's resting on the back of the left hand. I'm going to guide that end of the staff in a counterclockwise circle. Down to the right, up to the left. Down to the right, up to the left. Other end of the staff is rolling down the right side of the neck, down the shoulder, using this back of the right hand to keep that counterclockwise rotation going. And of course, you can go between these two for as long as you like. And before we wrap this one up, I just do want to point out that you could also do the exact opposite. So you could come into a a clockwise circle on your right side. This is my non-dominant side. And then a counterclockwise circle on your left side. So both are possible, only the other way is much less comfortable for me, but go ahead and give it a try. Make sure you're comfortable with both directions on both sides for your shoulder fountains. As always, if you have any questions or want me to go over any part of that, feel free to shoot me a message or drop me a comment. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.